Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at using the sine, cos, and tan angle sum and difference formula to calculate exact values. So we already know the exact values for sine, cos, and tan when the angle is a multiple of 30 degrees or 45 degrees. That's pi on 6 radians or pi on 4 radians. But we can use these formula here to come up with exact values when the angle is a multiple of 15 degrees or pi on 12 radians. So let's look at this example, cos pi on 12. Now the answer will just be a number, so it doesn't matter if we do our calculations in degrees. So pi on 12 radians is 15 degrees. Remember, you just multiply this by 180 over pi to change to degrees. So in order to use this formula, I need to write the angle, in this case 15 degrees, as the sum or difference of two angles for which I know their exact value. So I can't write this as like cos of 10 plus 5 because I don't know the exact value of cos 10 or cos 5. What I do know, however, I know the exact value of cos 45 and the exact value of cos 30. So I can write cos of 15 degrees like this. Now it looks like this, cos of some angle minus another angle. So I'm just going to use this formula here. So when you're expanding cos, it's cos of the first times cos of the second. Now remember, it sort of goes the opposite way. So when you're subtracting here, a plus goes between the two terms. And then it's sine of the first times sine of the second. So that's why it was important that I chose angles for which I know the exact value. So we know that cos of 45 is just 1 on root 2. Cos of 30 is root 3 on 2. And then sine of 45 also 1 on root 2. And sine of 30 equals a half. Now, I don't expect you to know what cos 15 degrees is off the top of your head, but let's have some idea of what the answer should be. 15 degrees is in the first quadrant, so our answer should first of all be positive. Now, because 15 degrees is close to 0, remember cos of 0 is 1, cos of 60 degrees is a half. This number should be more than a half and less than 1. So let's see if we do get that. So multiplying the fractions out, we have root 3 on 2 root 2 plus 1 on 2 root 2. And of course, we can just add the numerators, leave the denominator alone since we have the same denominator in both fractions. We get root 3 plus 1 over 2 root 2. So if you put that on your calculator, it's about 0.97, so we know we're on the right track. Now, sometimes you're going to be asked to write this with a rational denominator. So the denominator at the moment is irrational because root 2 is irrational. So I'm going to make this a rational denominator by multiplying top and bottom by root 2. So root 2 times root 3 is root 6, 1 times root 2 is root 2. Now, if you times 2 root 2 by root 2, it's just 2 times 2, which is 4. So that is my final answer with a rational denominator. So let's look now at tan of 11 pi on 12. So that's in radians. Once again, I can change to degrees if I wish. 165 degrees. Now this angle is in the second quadrant. We know that tan is negative in the second quadrant, so I should get a negative answer here. So once again, what I want to do is write this in terms of angles for which I know the exact value. I know the exact value of tan 120, it's just the negative tan of 60. I know the exact value of tan of 45, so I'm going to write it like this. This will now allow me to use this formula here. So the formula tells us it is tan of the first plus tan of the second, all divided by 1 minus tan of the first times tan of the second. So tan of 120, as I said, is the negative of tan 60, so it's negative root 3 here, and tan of 45 is just 1. So just fixing this up a little bit, this is 1 minus root 3 over 1 plus root 3. And you can put that on your calculator and you'll see very clearly it gives you a negative answer as we predicted. Now, if I'm asked to write this with a rational denominator, this is irrational because root 3 is irrational. So the way you rationalize it when now we've got two terms, whereas in the past we only had one term. What we're going to do is multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of this. We're going to times top and bottom by 1 minus root 3. Because if I multiply 1 plus root 3 and 1 minus root 3, that's just the difference of squares. So you just square the first is 1, square of root 3 is 3, and then put a negative between them. So we just get -2 on the bottom. Now to multiply the tops, we need to use FOIL, and we should get 4 minus 2 root 3. And we can divide everything by -2 there. And we're just left with root 3 minus 2, which is a negative number like we predicted. All right, thanks so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.